Good afternoon, everyone. First Alert Storm Team meteorologist Joseph Williams with your Valley News Now afternoon update. So what's going on? Well, we do have a First Alert weather day that is continuing into Sunday. That's because we're First Alert tracking some snow and wind across the region. So let's get right to the forecast to kind of show you what I'm talking about. Again, we have our First Alert weather day. That's for this Sunday because we're dealing with the threat of blowing snow across the region. So what's the deal? Well, we got a clipper system that is sweeping through our region, and it's going to lead to some snow accumulation in the process. So as of now, the temperature is 17 degrees above zero. So for the first time in a long while, we actually seen temperatures get not just above zero, but actually in the teens above zero. And time is currently 4:11 p.m. So here's what that looks like. The reason why we have those First Alert weather days is because of this clipper system right here. We've been tracking this low pressure system out in the Pacific Ocean for the past several days, and now it's making its way towards our region. You can see our satellite radar showing a swath of snow impacting not just eastern North Dakota, but impacting all the way down into Nebraska and Kansas too. So pretty strong warm front that's producing the snow indeed. And in fact, looking at our satellite and radar, you can see some wintry mix showers still taking place in central North Dakota. And meanwhile, we have some pockets of snow out in southeastern North Dakota, a band of heavier snow starting to push towards I-29. So if you're planning on traveling this afternoon, I'd be wary because of the snow coming down from this first round of showers. This first round of snow right here, that is the snow associated with this warm front that's actually to the west of us. And then the second round here, that is basically a cold front making its way towards our region, a weaker cold front associated with that clipper system approaching our region too. And that's going to allow that moisture to get amplified as we head into tonight. And the reason why we're worried about the swath of snow is because of the winds. So this is a pretty strong clipper system, and as a result, we got strong southerly flow taking place. On the one hand, that's why temperatures are in the teens this afternoon, and we'll actually see temperatures continuing to rise as we head into tonight, actually getting into the 20s during the overnight hours. On the other hand, with a wind gust up to 44 miles per hour in Fargo versus 41 miles per hour in Grand Forks, 32 miles per hour in Jamestown, for example, any snow that falls is going to get whipped up by the wind, and you're going to see some low visibility in the process. Put it another way, this was out near Jamestown. Seems the camera's not working. Sorry about that. But basically, we were seeing some snow coming down in Jamestown a couple hours earlier. And while the snow seems to have let up just a little bit, still some slick pavement out in Jamestown due to that snow from earlier this afternoon. And meanwhile, in Fargo, while the snow is luckily not falling as of 4:14 p.m., you can see the camera is shaking due to those sustained southerly winds of 29 miles per hour, and as well as that gust of 44 miles per hour. As you can see, the camera is shaking out of the Red River Fairgrounds as a result, and we'll basically see that kind of shaky camera issue throughout the afternoon and evening hours thanks to the winds coming through. In fact, we're thinking that today involves the strongest winds with this clipper system. That's when we'll see the strongest winds pushing through. The winds will settle down tonight. Then they'll briefly come back from the northwest Sunday morning, and then it's not until late afternoon, early evening that the winds die down and the snow stops blowing in the process. And I think by that point in time, our First Alert weather day will be able to expire around Sunday evening. Here's a look at our First Alert forecast to show you what I mean. Starting the clock at 5 p.m. Again, remember our satellite radar was showing a swath of snow in eastern North Dakota around this time. And basically, it's moving east as we head into the evening hours. So by around 7 to 8 o'clock, the I-29 and the Red River Valley will see the snow really coming down. And that snow only gets heavier as we head into the overnight hours. So by around 10 o'clock, we're looking at some heavier snow in northwest Minnesota and the Red River Valley. Meanwhile, still dealing with some scattered snow showers in eastern North Dakota around that time too. And we'll continue seeing snow shower activity in eastern North Dakota and some heavier snow in northwest Minnesota and the Red River Valley during the early overnight hours. Around 6 a.m. though, the snow really starts breaking up. So the worst of the snow is basically between late evening and overnight. But by early Sunday morning, we're seeing that snow breaking up in northwest Minnesota. We're just left with scattered snow showers in Lakes Country in northwest Minnesota by 5 to 6 a.m. And I'm thinking after 7 to 8 a.m., most of the snow showers that we're dealing with, they'll be east of our region. I'm thinking the vast majority of the moisture we're expecting should be east of our region by like 8 to 9 o'clock. And by midday, aside from an isolated flurry or two, we're looking at cloudy, dry conditions across the region. So we're basically done with the snow altogether before midday. How much snow are we expecting? Well, this is on top of the snow we've already seen in eastern North Dakota. Wrong button, sorry about that. But I'm thinking about 1 inch of snow accumulation in eastern North Dakota, 1 to 2 inches of accumulation in parts of eastern North Dakota, maybe 1 to 3 inches in northwest Minnesota. But the bulk of the snow accumulation will be in the Red River Valley, where that snow will be the heaviest. And so I'm thinking the Red River Valley will probably see around 3 to 4 inches of accumulation thanks to the swath of snow coming down across the region. So that may not seem, again, the snow totals are low. So generally 1 to 3 in northwest Minnesota, 1 to 2 in eastern North Dakota, 3+ inches of accumulation in the Red River Valley. And this is all on top of the winds that we're first alert tracking. So again, seeing wind gusts in the 30 to 45 mile per hour range this Saturday afternoon. And we'll see that orange color indicating gusts in the 30 to 45 mile per hour range continuing up until about midnight, when we see the winds dying down briefly as we see a wind change, this time coming from the south to coming from the northwest. So by midnight, we get a break from the winds in the Red River Valley at least, but we'll see the winds picking up from the northwest as we head into Sunday morning. So I'm thinking wind gusts will be in the 25 to 35 mile per hour range for your early Sunday morning commute. So for your early Sunday morning commute, it won't be as windy, but we're still looking at wind gusts in the 25 to 35 mile per hour range, and that will cause some isolated blowing snow and drifting snow impacts across the region for your Sunday morning commute. By Sunday afternoon, though, the winds will die down as that Clipper system moves east of our region. And I'm thinking by Sunday evening, we're just left with a standard breeze across our region. And so that blowing snow threat will end by like the 5 to 6 p.m. timeline. So by 5 to 6 p.m., I think our first alert weather day will be able to expire as that blowing snow threat ends. Although, be aware, we could see some slick spots in the roads due to the snow accumulation across the region. Put another way, in Fargo, the strongest wind gusts are basically happening this afternoon and evening. By midnight, though, we'll stop seeing wind gusts above 30 miles per hour. We get a brief break from the strong winds during the early overnight hours. But by 8 to 9 o'clock, we'll see the winds rebounding in Fargo. And thereafter, expect wind gusts in the 25 to 30+ mile per hour range for your Sunday morning commute, even into early Sunday afternoon. But by 5 p.m., gusts will drop below 25 miles per hour, and so that blowing, drifting snow situation ends. So basically, our first round of wind is happening today. It will continue until about midnight. Then we'll see the winds briefly pick back up early Sunday morning and continue until about 1 to 2 p.m. Sunday afternoon, at which point the blowing snow threat starts going away in the Fargo-Moorhead area. Because of the wintry precipitation moving through, we have some winter weather advisories for our region. Now, we have winter weather alerts for central North Dakota and parts of the James River Valley that will expire within the next hour and 41 minutes, expiring around 6 p.m. And meanwhile, most of eastern North Dakota, the Red River Valley, and parts of northwest Minnesota, this area that I'm circling here with the arrow, that lasts until 12 p.m. Sunday because, again, that's where the bulk of the snow will be at. We remember our first alert forecast was showing that snow lingering in the Red River Valley in northwest Minnesota and parts of eastern North Dakota. And that's where we'll see the heaviest snow at. And that's also where we'll see the strongest winds taking place. It's basically the Red River Valley, which is why this area that I'm circling here, it's under that winter weather advisory until 12 p.m. Sunday. And meanwhile, we do actually have a wind advisory in effect for parts of Marshall and Roberts counties until 9 p.m. as wind gusts up to 50 miles per hour are possible in northeast South Dakota could cause some wind-related impacts. Besides the snow and the wind, we're also looking at a warm-up heading into tonight. Because of how strong this Clipper system is, warm air is actually lifting in from the south Saturday afternoon and evening, which is why we're seeing rising temperatures throughout today. And in fact, temperatures will continue rising as we head into tonight. I'm thinking by 6 a.m. Sunday morning, even with a northwesterly wind, temperatures will still be in the 20s across the region, 27 in Fargo, 29 in Wahpeton, 32 in Sisseton, even the upper teens at the international border. Now, wind chills will be lower. It'll feel like the teens outside, but hey, that's still way better than the sub-zero temperatures and wind chills that we've been experiencing for the past several days. By Sunday afternoon, we'll see temperatures actually decreasing a little bit. So our high will actually be in the morning hours Sunday, dropping into the teens to low 20s for Sunday afternoon because of that northwesterly wind bringing more cold air from Canada down into our region. So we actually will cool down a bit as we head into Sunday afternoon and evening. After Sunday, now what happens after this Clipper system moves out? Well, after our first low weather day for Sunday, we are looking at a few more opportunities for snow chances. I'm thinking Monday afternoon and evening, a Clipper system will bring a few snow showers in the southern valley, not much moisture anticipated. Then Tuesday, we could see a slight chance of snowflakes on Tuesday, and some more mixed precipitation for Thursday. So a couple opportunities for precipitation for the first week of January. Keep the VNN weather app handy for that. But on the bright side, temperatures will be above normal for the first time in a while. We will see temperatures climbing into the 20s to 30s as we head into the first few days of February. So after a brief cool down Monday and Tuesday of next week, we'll see temperatures rising again, getting into the 20s to 30s, and we'll stay above normal up until we approach mid-February when we cool back down in the process. So basically we are warming up as we transition into the month of February, so that is the good news. So let's recap everything. Again, our first little weather day will continue through tonight into Sunday morning due to the threat of blowing snow caused by strong winds, first from the south this Saturday afternoon and evening, then from the northwest for Sunday morning. Snow showers are expected until midday, at which point basically the bulk of the snow will be done by like 7 to 8 o'clock, but any leftover flurries and showers, I think they'll be done around midday. And again, northwesterly gusts in the 25 to 35 mile per hour range may cause some blowing snow in the process. By Sunday evening, again, by Sunday evening at the latest, no later than Sunday evening, our first of the weather day should be allowed to expire because not only will the snow have died down, but the winds will have died down too. We are looking at a few lingering slick spots possible for Sunday evening. So even though our first alert weather day should be able to expire by that point, I'd still keep the VNN weather app handy if you're traveling for Sunday evening. And after our first alert weather day expires Sunday evening, Monday and Tuesday will be chilly. Morning lows will be near zero, possibly colder still on Tuesday morning, in fact. Afternoon highs will be in the teens above zero, still colder than Sunday morning. And then we'll see temperatures rebounding towards the middle and end of the week with highs in the 20s to even some 30s for next Thursday. And then we'll see temperatures dropping back to seasonably cool levels as we approach mid-February. Now, I will be keeping an eye on this forecast for the next couple of days, seeing how mid-February ends up changing. But the main thing is we're just looking at an active weekend ahead of us. Stay safe out there. Make sure to keep the VNN First Alert weather app handy as we first alert track the snow and wind. And I will be going over the the snow again on the VNL First Alert Weather app, so keep the VNL Weather app handy. I'll also be on for Valley News Live at 6, 9, and 10, so be sure to tune in for your First Alert forecast for those updates. And I'll be giving an update on the OTT live desk here. I'll give you a Valley News Now evening update sometime between 8 to 8:30, so be sure to tune in for that update. In the meantime, I'm going to get off of here. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this, and be safe out there.